Hello, Orange County. I'm Rob Ferran.
And I'm Alex Bueno, and welcome to episode 5 of
SGN OC. This is Alex Bueno. It's definitely not Rob Ferran.
Excellent. Finally. Thanks for coming back. Let's get started like we always do with a segment that we like to call Do Re Meme. Do Re Meme. You know, we're all doing our best to cope through the constantly changing social and work landscapes that are created by the COVID-19 shutdowns and quarantines. Some of us, of course, are doing a little bit better than others. You know, when it came to working from home, we all felt like we could rise to the occasion. However, our expectations don't often match reality. Oh, and here is an actual photo of me getting ready for a work Zoom meeting. When it came to socialization, it's fun to watch how introverts and extroverts both deal with the lockdown. So here are some introverts who are really suffering. And then here are our extroverts handling the lockdown with quiet dignity and grace. Stay strong, people. Alex?
Thanks, Rob. Are you struggling with life and our current situation? It's time for Life in Lockdown, where we get a little glimpse at how we are all coping with our adjusted way of life. Today's topic? Homeschooling. Or as I like to call it, the thing that makes me seem incredibly stupid to my 4-year-old. This time we've decided to check in with resident artists Rachel and Jocelyn to see how homeschooling's been going for their families.
Hey girls, how's the school day looking?
It's looking great. Class doesn't start till 9, but I've been working since 7.
Awesome. How about you, Ariana?
So I have been doing my assignment since 7:30, and right now I'm working on division.
That's great. It's gonna be another great day.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you, girls.
We love you.
I love you.
Mom, I'm in class. Get out, Mom, I'm in class.
You're not gaming, are you?
No.
Thank you, Jocelyn and Rachel. You know, I just let my daughter drop out of school. It's just easier that way. Ooh, that just got a little dark. How about a little bit more light? A community spotlight, that is, with our very own Laura Hathaway.
Community spotlight. Well, that's the opposite of a spotlight. Comic Hero University is a small comic book store in Fullerton that prides itself on being a place where people can gather, shop, and feel safe to discuss the characters and stories that they're passionate about. When COVID-19 hit, owner Enrique Munoz wondered how he could shield his business during lockdown. Quite the brainiac himself, Enrique followed the lead of some of his favorite superheroes and seized the opportunity to connect with his community. I chatted with Enrique to talk about how he has used comics to spread happiness and hope during these strange times. See what I did there?
Hi, Enrique. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, no, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
How long have you been in business in Orange County?
We opened the store December 2012, so 8 years this December. Yeah, probably I think the 7th is our anniversary.
Your slogan for your shop is not just comics, but community. Why is building community important to you?
I was a Spanish speaker first, and comic books was the gateway to help me read and comprehend the English language. And, you know, through the comic book world, going to conventions and, you know, working in the comic book shop, I mean, yes, there's money to be made, but there's a lot of people here that enjoy the same things that I do. So for me, there's a stereotype that comes with a comic book store, you know, a cave with a troglodyte of an owner. I mean, the comic book guy from The Simpsons is that stereotype. And I wanted a stereotype because I wanted people to feel comfortable to come into the store to talk about the things that they're passionate about. Ultimately just create a place that people can feel comfortable, as opposed to like, oh, we're gonna have to go to this place and deal with this guy. Community is far, far, far more important than making a dollar. I don't have customers, I have friends. Comic books have really inspired just about darn near every aspect of my life.
And what would you say to people who say like, "Nah, comic books are just stories for kids"?
To them, I will say that you clearly aren't paying attention to what comic books are and what comic books do. Comic books are literature.
How has COVID and this crazy world that we're in right now changed the way you do business?
COVID hit, everything got locked down. Like, it was a hard lockdown, and I needed to figure out what I had to do. One, to keep these doors open, and two, to make people aware that I'm still here. The schools aren't in session and the kids aren't doing anything. What if you donate the comics to the school? And I was like, wait a minute. People donate money to the store. I use that money to buy comic books that I can give to the kids while they're at home. That's a pretty good idea. I think people could get behind that. And so then I had communicated with the Fullerton School District about what my plans were, and they were so behind it. The program got so much bigger than I anticipated. I wasn't, expecting national coverage. I had a local news network came and did a segment on me delivering comic books to the schools and passing out the comic books to the kids. I think it was NBC. NBC is partnered with Galavisión, which is a Mexican news network. The next day they called me, did a spot on me. So there was, people in Mexico that were seeing it. And then I had heard that they did a spot in Miami, of all places. So I got major exposure for the program, but I didn't do it for the exposure. I did it for the kids. We handed out the comic books to them at the school. And then we did a free comic book day event in the summer. And then just recently we did a candies and comics for Halloween, where the kids basically went through this little walkway maze that we had created, and then they ended up with me where I would give them a book. All of them have been relatively successful, and I couldn't do it without the help of the Fullerton School District that tends to get the word out that I'm doing something, revolving literature for the kids.
That's incredible. And not only literature, but literature that kids are going to be excited to read.
I remember in high school, my English teacher was talking about something, and I'm probably going to get all of this wrong, something called Byronic Hero. Lord Byron Scott had written something about a guy whose motivations to be a hero all stemmed from some guilt in his life. And I was like, oh yeah, like Spider-Man. And she's like, what? Everything Spider-Man does is because he's guilty of the fact that his uncle had died and he did nothing to do it, despite the fact he had the power to do something. I know that the superintendent from the school is 100% on board with what I'm doing because he believes in the same thing that I do. So that's very helpful. A large number of the teachers are also, that I've interacted with, are also on board with what I'm doing. I mean, like, there's proof in the pudding. I am here because of the comic books, taught me what I know, and I own a business. You just need the one person to like help these kids that are struggling, because the kids aren't going to say anything. The
Right.
kids are either embarrassed or they're afraid to say that they need help. I mean, like I had said earlier, like for whatever reason, it's human nature not to ask for help. And if a child is struggling with reading and comprehension, try a comic book.
Not only do you sell comic books, but you actually created your own comic strip?
Myself and my friend Jesse Moriarty, who's in this improv comedy troupe that I'm in, way back when we first started, we've been doing the comic strip a little over 5, or maybe about 5 years now, or a little over 5 years. And the idea was that like I would have the interactions I have with customers every week, there's got to be about 2 or 3 gems that I just can't make this stuff up. And
anybody who works in retail can probably feel that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we've been doing these comic strips, Jesse and I, based off of an interaction that I've had with a customer, and then we hyperbolize the whole idea. we post those every week on the website, comicheroU.com. Every Sunday, we call them the Sunday Funnies. And then when you come in as a customer to purchase an item and I give you your receipt, printed at the bottom of the receipt is the comic strip. What I really want is to one day have a guy come in the store and he's got his son with him, and they buy the comic books, and it's this kid's first time, and the parent will say something like, "You see this guy? This is the guy that I bought my very first comic book from, and he's bringing his kid to buy his first comic book from me." Like, that's what I want in my life.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you you taking some time to talk to me.
Yeah, no, this was fun. Thank you for inviting me. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did.
Absolutely. And you take care of yourself.
You too. Be safe and wear your masks.
If you want to learn more about Comic Hero University, you can find it on social media or by visiting comicheroU.com. Or head to Fullerton and visit. Enrique will be glad to see you. In fact, I'm headed there right now. Gotta talk to someone about the new Wonder Woman movie. Oh, back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Laura. And now it's time for some pandemic parenting, or PP, where we remind you you are not alone, we're in this together, and it's okay to lower your standards just a little bit.
What are you doing?
I'm bored.
Go bang your head against the wall.
Mom.
Only boring people are bored.
With schools and daycares being closed, chances are you've had to take your kids with you everywhere you go. And if you have more than one kid to stuff in the back seat, they're probably gonna fight. You know, like, she touched my hand, he breathed this way, Milo is blinking too loud. Well, have we got a solution for you? Try the Kid Divider. You just take a piece of cardboard, stick it in between your kids. If they can't see each other, they can't fight with each other. This tip brought to you by Mommy's Anonymous. Mommy's Anonymous, hiding wine in the pantry since the invention of children. Rob?
The Orange County Human Relations Commission is introducing the To Know Better movement. Anxiety about the pandemic has seen a rise in racism and discrimination, especially against those with Asian backgrounds. Cases of harassment and assault are spreading. The To Know Better campaign took media submissions from high school and junior high school students, such as a short PSA, TikTok dances, t-shirt concepts, art pieces, a poem, or a song. The focus of these submissions is on educating their peers on the reality and facts of the pandemic and the effects of racism and hate, as well as fostering a more accepting community. 5 winners will receive a $5,000 prize for their school to put towards anti-hate initiatives and to promote positive media coverage. I say keep an eye out for what these students have to offer. Back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Rob. Are you looking for some good advice? Has the world got you down? Well, we are happy to report that Dear Daryl is here for you.
Dear Daryl, I'm feeling a little lost these days. Please help. Lost in OC.
That man was my high school teacher. That's why I turned out so well. Hey, the holiday season just ended, so I'm going to give it over to our holiday correspondent, Matt Takahashi. Matt?
Thanks, Alex. On this installment, I wanted to reflect on the year that will live in infamy, 2020. It was the year that defies explanation. I mean, look at me. It's like every time you see me, I am a whole different person. I clearly need help. So instead of dwelling on the hard times, I wanted to take a look back at our first year of SGNOC and relive some of the fun times that many of you have never seen before. Let's peek behind the curtain to see how our excellent team creates this feel-good show.
We clearly know what we're doing.
Unfortunately, we do have a bit of not so good news. Again, due to some not so good news.
This is SGNOC reminding you that until we can tell your stories from our stages, we're going to tell your stories online. That's completely incorrect, and that's wrong, and so I'm going to keep talking now because I'm Rockin' Rob Ferran. Alex?
Sometimes people cut their hair in the middle of filming.
I can't laugh.
Chance artists find blah blah blah. Oh, no.
I want everybody to have
All right. By going to cemeteries, memorials. Nope. Blep, blep. Memorial Day. SoCal Strong. Nope, that's not the name of it. This is a lot of text. Douglas C-350. Nope, that's not the name of it. Wing Operations Manager Bill Processor. Nope. Led by a World War II. So close.
So please consider donating to our Make Them Hear You campaign. Your generous gifts will be matched dollar for dollar.
Robin, don't do that. If you start to cry, I'm probably gonna start to cry.
And help us make it through this uncertain time. And a huge thank you to the incredible board members and friends of the Chance who have made this match possible.
Ricky! I hope that was enough.
We clearly have a lot of fun working on this show, and I hope that 2021 brings even more laughter and joy for all of you out there, and far less of Rob crying. Anyway, back to you, Rob.
Hey, thanks, Matt. You know, listening to your segment really gives me joy, which oh so subtly brings us to our next segment, Dose of Joy. This time we caught up with a couple of lovebirds who have some great news.
We're engaged!
We're engaged too!
But only I have a ring.
Yeah, I don't want that. No, me either. That's something.
Oh yay, they got engaged. That's super exciting.
Big whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, we got engaged once too. Doesn't last.
Are those the same leggings you've had on all week?
Did you cut your hair again to look more stupid?
I love you.
Love you too.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. I love how it started off as a fantasy and then turned into a documentary. That was great. Well, we have some exciting stuff at the Chance coming up. We've got Chance Encounters, hosted by James McHale, a Chance show with interviews, humor, and heart. We also are hosting Cyber Chats every other Friday night, where you can watch the shows online and then join us for a virtual discussion of the shows with Chance artists. And finally, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our 2021 season. Although we don't yet know when live in-person theatrical performances will return, our schedule of shows is proceeding, whether it means you'll be watching the shows at the Chance or a virtual performance at home. For more info on this and all other things Chance, please go to www.chancetheater.com.
And most importantly, we want to hear from you, OC. Send us your news, your stories, your pictures, your videos. Do you have some mini correspondents running around that like to bust a move? Well, then send them our way. email us at goodnews@chancetheater.com and help us highlight local heroes and moments of joy. Thank you for coming back. We hope you smiled as much as we did putting this little thing together. This is SGNOC reminding you that until we can tell you stories from our stages, we're going to tell your stories online. I'm Rob Ferran.
And I'm Alex Bueno. Until next time, stay citrus, Orange County. We done? Good. So I gotta get on eating all this leftover food. Just from the holidays. There's so much food in my fridge. I cannot let it go to waste. Oh my gosh, I forgot it. What? Oh, want to go bad. These cookies expire in 5 minutes. Oh, this is awful. The hell is this ice cream? Why would you give me this on the holidays? Ah. I have nothing to wash this stuff down with. Do we have any leftover water? This water is awful. We're giving this to our kid? I don't feel so good.